John Street. I'd like to introduce you to a new community resource that we're quite excited about. I'm here as a representative of a group called Wise Democracy Victoria, and behind me I have quite a few of the members of Wise Democracy Victoria. Our mission is to seek out and investigate processes that can enhance the scope, collaborativeness, and co-intelligence of our democratic systems. I think all of us are realizing that we're faced with bigger and bigger issues. As a colleague of ours has said, things are getting better and better, worse and worse, faster and faster. And how do we resolve some of these issues? That's what Wise Democracy and our group is really interested in. And we've introduced this process of wisdom councils to the city of Victoria. And you may have seen some of the articles in the various newspapers. Thanks to some of the media, we've had excellent coverage. And we're realizing that in Victoria we have so many pressing issues, but how do we get people, ordinary people, to participate and come forward and make their voices heard in these big issues and issues of concern to the ordinary people? So I just wonder if anyone here has thought about, well, what kind of message would you receive if you put out a random selection of 12 individuals, put them in a room together for a day and a half, and ask them to come up with a statement? What kind of a statement would you hear from them? Well, tonight we'll give you such a statement because that's exactly what we did. We went through the Victoria telephone book. We picked out approximately 500 names through random selection, and luckily one of our people in Wise Democracy is a statistician, so she generated all these numbers by random, and we went page number, column number, how far down on the column, and we picked up the name, and they were in the area of Victoria. That made it a little bit problematic. We had to see whether these people lived in Victoria or not. And we sent out 500 invitation letters, and we had an evening where people joined us and we described what the system was all about, how the process worked. And those people put their names into the hat. We had 8 as a result of that first evening, and then we had 12 eventually who joined us on the 2 days, March 30th and 31st. And Councillor Chris Coleman was there for our public community event at the end of the Wisdom Council, where we invited all of the people of Victoria and Greater Victoria to come and hear what the Wisdom Council has to say to them, because it's such an innovative process to actually have a random selection of ordinary citizens to come together. So I'd like you to hear the statement from the Wisdom Council, and there are 4 members of the Wisdom Council here today. David Stott, Rob Fowler, Brian Birchall, and Gillian Sanderson. Those folks could stand up. It's quite amazing to me that these folks were randomly selected, and they're so invigorated by the process that they're here today. And they want to be part of presenting this statement to you, Worship, and members of council. So I'd like to invite Gillian Sanderson to quickly read the statement.
Good evening. This is the statement of Victoria's first Wisdom Council, which was held at the end of March this year. The Victoria Wisdom Council recognizes that the fabric of our society is fraying in a variety of ways. We are increasingly isolated from each other. We are losing connection with our environment and making choices that have grave impacts upon it. Our society is increasingly socially and environmentally unsustainable. There is a growing disconnection between our government and the people. We believe these issues are solvable by fostering a shift from I to we in our attitudes and actions, by taking a greater role in our democracy, and by recognizing our personal responsibility for these issues. The Victoria Wisdom Council encourages citizens to become more civically engaged and politically active by empowering disenchanted people to reconnect with public life, providing more people-to-people connections, and offering new ways of finding and using our voice. The Wisdom Council itself is one way of achieving this.
Thank you very much.
And here's a statement for each of you.
I'm sorry, sir, the 5 minutes are expired.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Chandler has a comment.
I do, thank you, and it was, I'll just wait for the program. It was quite a journey figuring out how we were going to have Wise Democracy come and present to council, and I'm glad that you were finally able to find an opportunity to come. I admire the work that the council is doing for numerous reasons. Primarily, I think, because of the fact that they're reaching out to citizens that otherwise wouldn't be reached, and the fact that it's really all-inclusive, really diverse population that ends up participating because of that random selection. Second, I think the fact that its sole purpose is to engage those citizens in becoming further involved in their community. I know that it was difficult for me to fathom the fact that there was such a small percentage of the population that voted when it came to our municipal elections. And so I think this process has a lot of offshoots of benefits to us as the decision makers, but also to each of our neighbors as they figure out how to re-engage in the process that is ours. In terms of action this evening, I would certainly like to suggest, or maybe I'll rephrase that, I'd like to move that council support the Wisdom Council and Wise Democracy by allowing use of City Hall for upcoming sessions that they